So, hey guys,
Hey y'all.
this is gonna be an interesting episode. Um,
We back at Studio One. Your house.
but hey y'all, welcome back to Code Switching Naturally.
I'm Channy.
I'm AJ.
We drinking.
You're drinking.
Oh. I'm drinking.
Okay,
I'm drinking alone?
No.
Oh, okay.
So, how are you?
Child, I'm doing pretty decent, actually. Doing really good, and that's scary.
Cause I'm not. So
Yeah.
change the dynamics. Eh?
All right.
we
flipped.
We flippity flipped. It's been a okay.
It's been a minute. It's been a while. It's been a hardship for you.
Yeah.
And yet, still doing you, still shaking and baking, moving and grooving.
Shaking and baking.
Shaking and baking.
Moving and grooving.
Moving and grooving.
You think I'm moving and grooving?
Well, you went to the gym, so that's a move and a groove.
I did go to the gym.
Yeah.
That was interesting because, baby, I was in that 20 minutes. I said, I'm ready to fucking go. I don't want to be in alone. Fuck this shit. I'm ready to freaking go. And then I called one of my friends, and he was like, no, you at least need to do 45 minutes to an hour. No, I'm ready to go. But then I was like, well, I'm here, so I might as well. And I tried that little hydro massage thing.
Oh, yeah.
First of all, that was weird around my booty. Like, I don't like massages like that around my booty. Like especially like the chair at the little petty shop where you just poking, but I don't like that.
Oh, it shocks me a little bit. Like every time I go to get my pedicure done, and it's like little fingers poking at your ass.
Yeah, I don't like that. So I turned it off.
Feel violated.
I feel very much violated. But this one, it just tickled. Like, because it's water, like it's water coming like down, and it's supposed to massage you, and I was like, I don't like that, but there's no way to isolate it.
And then some people really enjoy it because they're like, it's like having a hand on your butt. No, it's not, because nobody's doing this to your ass. Like, that's fucking weird.
Because it's just like, it's like you're laying on a water fountain, and it just keeps popping up down your body. Like, it does not feel that great. But with our current environment right now, where we have to move and shake even when all hell breaks loose, it's a good topic to talk about with forcing yourself to adapt, or how you choose to make the best out of a shitty situation.
Kind of like what we're doing today, because we couldn't be in our studio, but we still needed to shoot. We have a schedule.
We do, because we can't shoot during the week. It's just impossible.
Our schedules don't align.
I was like,
the stars don't align for us.
I forgot about Monday. Like, my kids are out of school on Monday, so we could have done Monday. Like, early Monday. But, like,
what you mean to say is I could have been asleep?
No.
Oh.
Because I still have work to do on Monday. Like, even though my kids are out of school, my company still expects me to work. So, and then I left my computer. So I have to go into the office to go get it. Or go to,
Well, baseless is all of that. We make things happen. You and I make things happen. Regardless.
Because if we don't, who will?
It's at the end of the day. Which is again one of those things I feel like is like a detriment when you're like known as being the reliable person or being known as whatever is going on, everyone knows that you finna make it happen. They don't realize how much of a struggle it is to make it happen. Like the other side of it is I'm putting in all this work to make it happen.
Like our trips.
Yeah. They don't I feel like people don't often see the other side of making it happen. They just see it happen.
Yes.
And they're like, wow, what a good job. What a great job. You did so good. I'm tired. Tired of making it happen. And oftentimes alone.
Oftentimes. More like 98% of the time alone. Like, as if to say that you guys, like, okay, I'm just gonna show up. Like, I pray. First of all, I don't want a big wedding as it is, but like, I pray whoever my husband is, he never tells me, babe, just tell me when to show up. I don't need your help in planning nothing, but I at least need to know, like, he's gonna be like, babe, what do you need? Or how can I take stress off of you? Like, I don't need you to plan it because it's gonna be smallish stuff anyway.
Right.
But like, don't just say, I don't care what you choose. Just tell me what to wear and I'll show up. I promise you, I'll probably punch him.
I think a lot of people take a pride in like having that kind of personality where like anything can happen. You just tell me to show up and I'll be there. I'm like, cool, you'll show up and be there. But like, can you take a part of the planning? Can you bring in your own ideas? Can you become a leader when I'm falling or I need help? That is a little bit more of help than just being like, whatever it is you tell me to do, wherever it is you want me to show up, I'll be there.
Because I realized I think the reason why my mom is so always asking me to do stuff is because even though she has to sometimes ask me twice, she only has to ask me twice.
Yeah.
And it's not because I didn't remember to do it, but like, because we all know I have ADHD and I just sometimes don't remember. But once you tell me the second time, it'll get done.
Right.
And I'm always the mediator or the person in the middle or the person that kind of gets things to happen the way they're supposed to happen. And so I feel like it's easy. And not to say, let me back up. I hate change.
Facts, you do.
I loathe changes. But most people who do not know me will never know that.
Right.
Because of how quickly I will adapt to something, you would not be able to tell that I don't like change. But it is one of my biggest, hardest things to deal with. Which is probably why it's been such a shit year. But, like, changes are hard, especially the ones that are life-changing. Like, life-changing changes, I think anybody would have a difficult time with. But, like, how do you kind of deal with, like, change and how it comes?
I'll be honest, I don't like change either. I really do not.
You don't.
So what I do when I'm dealing with change, and you've seen me do this, I will do whatever it is that needs to be done, but I'm going to complain the whole way. I'm going to complain about it the whole time. As I'm actively doing the work and doing whatever it is I got to do. Man, I fucking hate this.
Like, she'll do that, and me, I will just silently, like, do it. I'll have an attitude, but I'll do it. And then when I'm done, or when it's over with, I will go off. Like, I'm like, what the fuck is this? Why the fuck did I have to make this change? And if it's a change that does not make sense,
That's key number one. Make it make sense.
Like, sis, why did we have to put the in switching that code switching natural? The code switching. Why is that? Why
is that necessary?
Stupid. Like, that's just an example. But like, why? Make it make sense. Make it make sense.
It always has to make sense. If it doesn't make sense and you can't make it make sense to me, I immediately don't want to do it.
And I think that's part of the reason why, like, I was considered like the troublemaker on our line, because so many changes they wanted to make, it just didn't make sense. I'm like, hey, excuse me,
where does this make sense? Where is the why?
Where's the logic? Like, where's the reason? What was the reason?
What was the reason?
What was the reason? Like, this is how we bonded, because she would say some slick shit under her breath and think nobody heard her. And so it was just like, I heard that. I would just look at her and be like, she'd be like, you heard me? I absolutely.
Because I'm always down for like whatever work that needs to be done, tell me and I'll do it. But like, I'm going to be a little upset if it don't make sense. So I'm going to just shut up.
Like, why would we come to your house to make chocolate covered strawberries if we don't have the strawberries or the chocolate?
What are we doing?
Why is it mandatory that I must show up and we ain't got none of
We got
shit?
none of the supplies. What is we doing? What is we doing here?
Why is we here? That is key.
My
That's
favorite.
again,
why is you here?
like, why is you here? Like, that's another terrible example, but that was just like some of the crazy shit we used to go through. But it's just like, well, why?
It translates into bigger things because even at work, if there's certain like processes or anything that like does not make sense, or I'm like, this could be easier, this could be simpler, I'm gonna ask, how is it that why are we doing it this process? Why are we doing it this way when we could take out step number 2, 4, and 7 and it'll be faster? It'd be easier. It just, where you have to have a why.
And my boss got a first-hand understanding of like my personality when I first started working there, because they told us that we were doing our treatment plans wrong. Now, a treatment plan is a legal document. So if Medicaid wants to come and look at their treatment plans and be like, well, who is this for? So say one of the goals is Shani will learn and demonstrate 2 to 3 coping skills. She said, okay, well, with whom? What do you mean with whom?
What do you mean with who?
What do you mean? Like, what do you say? Like, with whom? I was like, with me. She said, well, why didn't you write that? Because that's redundant. She was like, how is it redundant? I said, how is it not redundant? It's a treatment plan written by me and the client, signed by me and the client. The treatment plan says for behavioral mental health services. Why would I need to put with the therapist each session? Why would I need to put that?
That's unnecessarily descriptive.
She was like, well, they don't know who you're referring to, who would be working. I said, well, if I wanted them to work on it with their parent, I would put with their parent.
Right.
But obviously, since this is a treatment goal for mental health therapy, it's already implied who they're working with here. But apparently not. So I still think that like there's certain pieces of like every little piece of our life have these nuances or these little itty bitty annoyingly inconvenient things. Mm-hmm. But it also makes it easier. Excuse me. Sorry. These big pieces in our lives where we feel like they always say you can turn lemons into lemonade, but for me, I'm like, life's too unpredictable for that.
And I feel like saying that there's kind of placebo statements like turning lemons into lemonade. You're always turning lemons into lemonade. You're ignoring how much expenditure it is to make the lemonade, like the work it takes to do that. and especially when you have people around you that could help, but they won't step up to the plate.
Or they don't want to.
Or they don't want to. And it's just expected of you to just deal with that.
It's just so, it's, being the strong friend sucks.
It is a detriment. It's a killer.
Like, I realize that that's just who I am and I can't get away from that because I don't know how else to be. But it sucks. But because when you have those few people in your life that absolutely know when something's off with you, which is why I knew why Mama called me today.
Mm-hmm.
Like I knew she'll never just, hey, checking on you, because especially like normally I would call her twice or maybe a couple times. Like I'll be the one to reach out to her. So when I don't, I already know it's coming.
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely hard. It's definitely interesting when you find other people like you. But for our group circle, I'm considered the strong one. I'm the one that plans. I'm the one that mediates. I'm the one that kind of keeps everything together. So it's hard when I'm not up to it or when I don't feel like it. And then nobody else wants to pick up anything or nobody else wants to kind of take on the amount of things that I take on.
Right.
But I find it still interesting because I wouldn't have it any other way, which is the confusing part.
I can understand that. Because like with my friend group in high school, not in high school, but at Cookman, it was because of we had a friend group that we called the Anderson Pack, but it was a matriarchy, and I was the matriarch. And a lot of times when they would come to me for advice, especially when it came to like spiritual things, the spiritual heaviness, they would come to me for those kind of things. But there would be times where I had, my twin or my best friend that would pull me aside, like, "Hey, you're taking on way too much," and we can see it. And I wouldn't really know what to do because at the end of the day, I wanted to be there. I wanted to be there for them. I want to be able to offer that part of myself for them. But it does weigh a lot when it's you. It's almost as if there's like dependency on your existence.
Mm-hmm. Because if you don't reach out or if you don't check in, they're not going to do the same.
They don't. People don't realize that when it comes to your strong friend or like the strong person in your friend group, there is a tendency not to care for the strong friend as in the same manner that they care for others. Or it's like you don't know how. You don't know how to take it when the strong friend is breaking.
Yeah, and best friend right now, I'm not like a priority on like his list of people to reach out to because he feels like, oh, you have others, you have people that like I don't necessarily like need him.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no need for him to really worry about me or feel the need that there's this need to check on me or something like that because I have other outlets. I don't necessarily need him. And even though that's very, very much frustrating because I'm like, no, but I do. Because he's one of three. One of three
Mm-hmm.
people in my life that I'll be able to tell, like, hey, she's not all the way there. And so it's kind of weird because I don't talk about my problems. Like I don't voice what's going on with me. So sometimes people being able to just see it works better for me because I don't have to talk about it. Now it's funny because I do this for a living where I get people to talk about their feelings. But in reality, I don't like people asking me to talk.
I feel that. Understandable.
Like, I will talk
Yeah.
when I absolutely can't just deal with it anymore. But if I don't have to, I don't.
It's hard. I think for me, I'm not good at talking about what I'm going through or what I'm feeling because I don't know how to find the words. I'll be honest, I know how to feel, I know what I'm feeling, but to put it into words and be able to explain just exactly what I'm going through mentally or even emotionally to someone else, I'm not good at it. So I have like people that are very few people who are able to tell when there's something wrong with me. Because in general, I'm the goofy friend. I'm the friend that like tells jokes. I'm the one that like is always happy. I'm here for everybody. I'm caring. I'm loving. I'm a warm place for people to come to. Sometimes it's fake. Sometimes that's a facade. And I need sometimes it's nice to have someone that knows there's something off about you. There's something that's wrong with you.
Which why I call your ass so often?
Because I realize I am a liar. I am a liar, and people will be like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine. Everything's great."
You know what? This is why I love him. Shout out to you. One of my closest friends. We've been friends since high school, like ninth grade high school. Like we've been close. We've been
Nice.
friends. And we're gonna have this conversation too. He's also an ex, but
My best friend is my.
so we're gonna have that conversation, right? So, he asked me the other day, like I texted him, because randomly, like he was like, let me back up. So sometimes if somebody crosses my mind, I text them or I reach out or I attempt to. He was one of those people like I was like, I just talked to this dude like a week and a half ago. Why is he just like constantly on my brain? I was like, let me check on him. Girl, come to find out my dude that made his big move he had been talking about. So I'm like, oh, so now, because I'm still thinking he in Central Florida. And I was like, oh, I'm going to go see my friend. I'm going to give me one of my bear hugs I always get. And I'll be okay. Because, damn it, I just want to feel just a little bit of peace for a second. But anywho, where was I going with this?
I don't know. I was following you, but then I couldn't follow.
Excuse me out again. ADHD here. Good morning. Best friend. Oh, he asked me how I was doing.
Mm.
And today I said, today it's good. He was like, why just today? I said, I discovered that I'm going to take it day by day. And if someone asks me how I am, I'm not going to lie and say that I'm good or I'm fine anymore. Like, I'm going to say today is a good day. Because yesterday wasn't so great. And he was like, oh, I understand that. Like, I'm learning that it's okay to not lie about how you feel.
Right.
Now, the difference is though, like sometimes you want to say, oh, I'm good, but, or no, I'm not okay. But you're afraid because if you say, no, I'm not okay, is that person going to support you? Or are they going to make it awkward?
Exactly.
And so some people just say, oh, I'm fine or I'm okay, just so they don't have to deal with the awkward part of the conversation.
I recently had someone, when I was talking to them, telling them that I was not okay, it came back with, I don't know, it was like a weird feeling of, they were saying, sometimes when I hear that you're not okay, it makes me feel like, well, damn, well, I'm not okay either. And I was like, okay, so I'll just never tell you. I'll just never tell you when I'm not okay. I'll just never admit that to you anymore.
Cause then I'm just like, I try so hard not to make things about me when y'all are like talking to me about stuff. And so even with my clients, I was like, I'll disclose certain things to you, but I'm not a person that likes to talk about me a lot. Like I just don't. But I also feel that with my clients, they want to make sure that you're relatable in order for them to feel safe enough to open up to you. So you kind of have to be very open about like you. And one of my clients was like, I just love the fact that you just keep it so real and so honest because it makes it it makes it feel so much like I'm just not alone. Like I'm not by myself.
Right.
Oh
And that's like one of my goals with social media, because you already know I hate social media. But what my goal with social media is, I'm just going to be very honest about my BPD, about the ups and downs of it. I had recently posted about like there was one day where it was just extremely hard for me to eat because I was so depressed. I talked about it and ended up with like other people. They were like, "Yeah, I've been having the same problem. Didn't even know that that was like a problem that people had, or that a solution is that you can eat well with other people and that helps." So I feel like if I can at least create some sort of wave where we're just more honest about our feelings, then maybe I can learn how to be honest about how I'm feeling with other people. Because I am a liar.
You're not a liar. Stop saying that.
I am.
You're not a liar. You're just a person who has decided that protecting themselves from the awkwardness and the lack of support from other people is more important than being honest with yourself. It's not a liar. That's just called defenses.
I learned something new about myself. I'm not a liar. I'm defensive.
Very much so. You're very, very defensive when it comes to like when it comes to your depression and like what you go through. You're very much defensive.
Explain.
Okay, sure. Since you asked, so like you know how you get into like your dark moments where you don't like to pick up the phone or you don't like to be completely honest or talk about how you feel.
Yeah.
How many times have you tried to do that and it didn't work out or it just blew up in your face?
Every time.
Okay.
Every
So
time.
instead of having to deal with it or focus in on the fact that this person may or may not be receptive to what you're thinking and feeling, and instead of you feeling like it's going to get thrown back in your face, you just say, I'm fine.
I didn't need to be read today. She came
You
for me.
literally just asked me to do that. What the hell? Okay, you know what?
I've been come for.
I didn't know such thing.
You didn't. I asked for it. I did ask for it. I asked for this honesty. I get it.
I said, well, since you asked, here we go.
You're right. You're right. You
But-
said truths.
But I'm the same way though.
We often have to take turns with pulling each other out of what we're doing.
This week was mine.
So that's why I just let you in, because you got to get it out of you. Otherwise, because I know you're not talking to anybody else about it.
I'm not.
I know.
I'm not.
That's why I had to let you have that space, because you have to get this out of you.
Cause baby, y'all, I'm gonna be so honest with y'all. I called her. I didn't expect to break down, but I don't think have you ever seen me break down like that before?
No. But I think because I care for you, I know that I feel like that you deserve to have a space where you don't have to be the strong person. And I want to be able to, even though there's a lot of people in your space who expect you to be, I will never expect you to be just the strong person all the time. You deserve to have a space where you can experience softness.
Girl, this newfound softness shit is taking some getting used to. Let me tell you. Baby,
You deserve to have a soft place to lie in. Not everything has to be gangsta, thugged out Ariel. AJ out here making shit happen regardless.
it's not gangsta
shit. Thug shit. AJ out here making shit happen regardless. No.
My coworkers tell me, she was like, "Oh, Dave, when we getting married? You take such good care of me." I was like, "Okay." Like I just can't help it. And the other one, he was like, "You dropped like a nigga." Thank you ever so much. But I do believe you. I think, and I do appreciate you for that because it's hard. It's hard to relinquish, especially because in our friends group, that's all I'm used to. Everybody call me mama, or everybody just expects me to have everything situated. So, and it's very clear. It's like we're winding down with this trip, and how quickly I'm like, hey, everybody needs to have this, everybody needs to do this, everybody needs to have that. Like, down to even how each person's going to get where they need to get. Like, that's just me. I'm just very hyper detail oriented. I'm very much, hey, things need to look this way. I don't like it to change. I don't want it to change. But I always find myself putting things in place.
It's a tough mix to want to, and I think that's from those people who have like a leadership personality. It's a mix of, I like to know that things are taken care of, and the best way to know that is to be the one that takes care of it. But that puts you in the position of, well, now I got to take care of it.
Yeah, and even though it's tiring, sometimes I still don't mind it. Like, I don't, especially with y'all, because I know if I did not plan it, it would never get done. And that's just because all of y'all, you just go into your own little world and just like, hey, okay, well, whatever.
Dude.
And then everybody else just forgets, or
I have a tendency to be doing 1,000 things at once. And because I'm doing 1,000 things at once, I'm unreachable to everybody. Like, I had a conversation with my best friend that I've known since high school. We've been friends for over 15 years. They were like, yeah, sometimes you just disappear. Like, you're just not there. I'm like, oh, I'm that person. I'm that person that just disappears.
You, Big Boy, Clyde, Mini Me, Pixie. Yeah. When I say all of you motherfuckers disappear at one time, right now, Clyde, AWOL. We don't know with. Baby boy, I mean, he's not AWOL right now, but like sometimes he falls off. Munch nowadays, she does what she does, but
I talk to her every day.
For you, honey. But we already know why that dynamic is the way that it is. So,
fact.
I mean, that's always my child, you know. We just
mad love.
We just in different places in our lives, and there's nothing wrong with that. When it's time for us to link up, it's a link up. It's a situation. You know what I'm saying? But girl, we always talk about this all night, and we ain't got time.
You're right. Is it time?
It's time.
It's time for me to do my song.
Yeah.
Music of the week. Music of the week. Hey, hey. Music of the week. Music of the week. Hey, hey.
What you got?
So Masego, Big Boy, and Jid came out with a song called Garden Party. Masego, Big Boy
from
Outkast, and Jid came out with a song called Garden Party. Jid. Shit.
Okay.
JID.
Oh, Jid.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Garden Party is a vibe. I love that song. I've been playing it while I'm at work because these customers getting on my damn nerves.
Fair.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're talking to customers now? Oh, okay. You still training?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Well, Damn, what song did I choose for the week?
It's so hard to think about sometimes.
No, because I've been in praise and worship all week.
Praise Him. Yay, God.
Okay, so the song for me, it seemed like I just always pull up gospel songs or like very much spiritual songs. And that's where I'm at right now. So y'all don't judge me, goddamn. So it's Miracle from Jonathan McReynolds and Mally Music's new EP.
That's a good one.
Miracle is on repeat.
Mm-hmm.
And matter of fact, as soon as we finish this, it's gonna
go back to repeat.
We're gonna turn it on.
Yeah.
Because it's such a beautiful, like, it's a beautiful mashup, because then they bring in his song Beautiful, Motley Music song Beautiful, and also the words just settle my spirit and remind me that I'm a miracle, and that I don't have to wait for God to show me these miracles and wonders. I am one.
Right.
So that's good enough for me.
We are evidence of God.
And pure D, evidence of God's miracles for us. And so I think that it just reminds me that in the midst of all of this, I don't have to worry about what the miracle is going to be. I just know that God is continuously giving us signs of wonders and miracles, and that whatever this is that is preparing me for, it's going to be okay. So it's definitely gotten me through the week. And that's all I got. So
good one. It's a good one.
We ain't mean for this to be so long, but this is one of those conversations that we always have. So yeah. So like, comment, share, subscribe, turn on the post notification bell so you know when we upload for our YouTube watchers.
Listen to our podcast in other places too. We on Amazon, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify.
I think we're on Google too. I just need to go and check.
We in a lot of places.
Yeah. So anywhere that you listen to podcasts,
look up Code Switchin Naturally.
Code Switchin Naturally. It's definitely been a great episode.
This is our 8th episode. You know what that means? We've been doing this for 8 whole weeks.
No, we have not been doing this for 8 whole weeks. We've been doing this longer than 8 whole weeks.
Oh, that's true.
But this is the 8th episode.
Facts. So tune in. We got more.
And we love y'all.
Bye.